Hey, what is up, guys? Pine Belt Beer Reviews back here again with you today for another one. And this one that I have here today is a special release every year, the Schlafly Pumpkin Ale. Uh, like I said, I had this one last year. This is their 2015. Um, it's got a date of 7/15/2015. I believe that's the bottling date. 16 IBU, 8% alcohol by volume. I really like the 2014 one. That was probably one of my favorite pumpkin beers of the year last year. So, yeah, went ahead and got it again when I saw it in the store. It gets 93 on Beer Advocate, which is an outstanding score. The bros haven't looked at it. I'll get this cap off in one piece. Pros haven't looked at it. It gets a 4.1 on Untapped. I think I said Untapped first. It gets a 93 on Beer Advocate. 4.1 on Untapped. I think I mixed those up. I don't know if I might not have, but that's really surprising. Because most average scores I see on Untapped are like below 3 or so, like that, or well, not below 3, below 4. Like, I mean, the highest I've ever usually see them is like 3.8 on there. So there seems to be a lot of snobby people on Untapped, a lot of snobby beer drinkers, or just people that drink a lot of Bud Light and they try like a new beer or something like that, like a craft, and I guess they don't like it, so they rate it low just because they're not used to it. They just, like I said, they mostly probably drink light beer. That's usually what I see, and they try a good craft beer and they're like, it's gross, it's too sweet, it's too bitter, or whatever. Anyway, go ahead and pour this into this bulbous glass. Well, basically a snifter. And I'm probably not going to be able to pour it all. It says they use about a pound, I think multiple pounds of pumpkin for this. And it's just many of you might know, it's just like a harkening back to like an old style of brewing, like when colonists, like in the 18th century and stuff like that, used to brew. They didn't really have barley or malt at their disposal yet, so they just used things like pumpkin and squash and everything to ferment. And they would also use acorn sometimes. They used all kinds of interesting things back during that time, which if I could ever taste something like acorn beer or something, that'd be really neat. It's just neat in general for me that I think the people used to like brew with gourds and all that kind of stuff. Just really weird. Alright, anyway, that didn't really pour much of a head. It fizzled away really quick. But it is just kind of like a beige kind of color. And this is pretty much like a rusty orange flavor there. So, rusty orange color there. Maybe a little bit of kind of woody brown or like hazelnut or something. It's got a good amount of carbonation in it. See some big bubbles, some small bubbles. So let's go ahead and go for the aroma on it. Nutmeg, allspice, clove, pumpkin. Kind of smells like one of those Mrs. Smith or one of those frozen pumpkin pies that you would find in a store. A little sweetness from the, I guess, the pumpkin itself. I don't know if they actually use malt in this. I'll just wait to pour that until after I sipped it. Not sure if they use malt or not. All I know that it's pumpkin, and on the website it described it as the pumpkin adds like a malty base. So they might have just used all pumpkin for it and not any sort of barley malt or anything, but not really picking up the alcohol at all. Just malty, sweet, fall spice aroma. It smells really nice, so let's go ahead and go for the flavor on it. All those smells that I just described are all very rich in the flavor. However, when I say it's the richness is only in the taste. It's not the beer itself isn't so rich. It's actually the body is pretty drinkable for 8%. I can definitely, when they're talking about the pumpkin base, I can definitely get the pumpkin flavor all the way through from start of the palate to the back of it. start to finish, it's basically you taste the pumpkin, and then those spices and everything like that just kind of, kind of like go along for the ride with the flavors. They're just kind of there. That they're a little subtle, but they're still definitely there, and they're blended really well with the pumpkin flavor. A lot of them you'll just have a lot of pumpkin beers. You'll just have like maybe a bit too much bitterness, or just sort of just plain pumpkin kind of flavor, or you just might have some really cheap pumpkin spice flavors. Uh, I tried Leinenkugel's pumpkin patch shandy, and I'm not bashing on it, but some people might like it. I should have known, I guess, if I was drinking a shandy with pumpkin spice in it, it probably was going to be kind of weird. But it was just I love pumpkin beers to death, but maybe not to death. I love them a lot. And I couldn't get around that because I just was tasting nothing but pumpkin spice. There wasn't really any natural flavor kind of presence anywhere in that for me. But that's just my personal preference. So, but this, it's just, I mean, it tastes like real pumpkin, at least to me. And the spices just pair very well with it. They just have a good balance with it. A little bit of a dry finish because of the alcohol. But still drinkable enough to go back for another sip. Carbonation's pretty decent on it too, but it's not really too much. Yeah, for a pumpkin beer, I had if I could find it in stores, which I think I actually saw it today and I just didn't get it. They have Southern Tier's Pumpkin in my area now. I was trying to remember the name of it. They have the Southern Tier Pumpkin at some of the bars and stuff I've been to around my area. So if I could find that, I'd like to do a review on it on here. That one was really good, really enjoyable, but I think, again, this one is, so far this year, has been my favorite pumpkin ale. So A+ on it for me, just because it's the best one I've had yet. I haven't had tons of pumpkin beers, but with my experience not having had others yet, this is like an A+ for me at the moment, unless I find something that blows this one out of the water, which is a very good possibility. So anyway, A+ on it. I definitely recommend you trying to pick it up if you see it. This year's Schlafly's Pumpkin Ale. Yeah, so I'm going to try to do some more of these fall beers on here soon for sure. They're kind of one favorite times of the year to drink beer because of just all the different flavors and stuff coming out with the spices and everything like that, and just festive type things. So definitely going to try to do some more on here for that. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching.